Hello everyone, Crypto8 here. So I wanted to make a new video to discuss the Bitcoin price action updates. I did a video a couple of days ago, and if you've seen it, I've been discussing this current wedge here. And at the time, we were somewhere here, and I was saying that my expectations at the time were 70%, 65% down and 35% up. And one thing also I said, and it manifested, was that this would not be like a simple a breakout from the apex of triangle, and that we were to expect traps. And I specifically said if it's gonna break up, it will probably trap down before it breaks up, and if it would break down, it would trap up before it breaks down. And actually, what happened was that we had this trap first, and then we went back inside, got rejected, had another trap, and then it went up. So let's just take a look at what we are seeing today. One thing I want to do today is I want to start from the beginning, like I usually do in my longer video analysis. And when I do that, I start from the main time frame that we take our narrative from. And if you've seen the videos on my YouTube channel, you would know that right now the relevant time frame for the current Bitcoin narrative is the monthly chart. And the reason for that is because on the monthly chart you see this, let me just show you, you see this correction here that could result in a breakout upwards on this 1 month time frame, which is actually a very large time frame for crypto, especially because crypto is much faster. And what I discussed when I was analyzing this was the similarity between this fake down with a gear up and what you see here. So this here is looking quite similar. This current shape here is looking quite similar to the reversal entry for a stochastic wave. Okay, so and based on that, we are assuming that there is a likelihood that this is a great long entry on the monthly chart, and that after this fake down starts to go upward, we are going to be probably seeing like a surge in price regardless of the target, but it has to have like a new high. And since this is on the 1 month time frame, and it still can take time to play out, which I also mentioned in the videos that I discussed this in. Uh, this can take like 1 month, somewhere between 0 days and 3 months, for example, to play out. And for that, we need to be able to zoom in on lower time frames to pick another zoomed in entry. So when you align these, like for example here you have an entry signal on the 1 month, and when you zoom into a time frame where this wave here is showing like a green stochastic wave, and you repeat this whole pattern where you try to narrow down a reversal entry, then you have like several layers of entries from different time frames, and it gives you a higher chance for a very neat precision entry. And for that, as I discussed also before, we need to mark this wave that is in question, and we mark it by setting this vertical line at the beginning of it. And what we want to do is we want to zoom in to see this gray curve here as a green curve, like this one. And for that, the rule of thumb is to start by zooming in first at a time frame that is a tenth of the current time frame. And if you don't understand why, I've explained this many times on my YouTube channel. So make sure to check it out if you want. And when I do that, I go to the 3 day time frame. Okay, and there you can see first thing we test is we check if the beginning that we marked is also the beginning of the wave. So the beginning of the wave should be like here, where this is where green, gray, and blue were meeting at the top, and down, and then it goes down. And here the beginning meets this criteria, because here you had also this red highlight and you had blue and gray and green meeting. And this can actually be, for example, the 3-day time frame, or when you zoom into other time frames, for example the 2-day, you can see the same. But then you can see that the green curve is like zigzagging, not as clean as the 3-day. And then also you can see it on the 4-day, which is also showing the same. So that is why we need to look at them and just paint a narrative from each, and then maybe we could identify if we need to zoom in more or not. And when doing so, what you can see here is either this gray here is gonna tap down lower, or it's just gonna round from here and go straight up. Okay, so these are the two possibilities for this one. On the 2-day, however, what you can see is that it's already tapping down, and the next step for it would be to tap up and giving you this kind of reversal here if you try with your eye to smoothen this green curve. And on the 4-day, what you can see here is that this is probably going to tap down again. And so what happens when you have these 3 different time frames, the 2-day, the 3-day, and the 4-day, one of them showing you that it's already ready, and the second is showing that it's like 50-50, either from here it's gonna go up, or it has to tap down more clearly before it goes up. And then in the fourth you have it not being ready. What you need to do is you need to do like a combined narrative, and also you need to zoom in on the last wave to start and find an argument for this, whether it's done already or it needs like another mini wave down. And before I go there, one thing I want to show you is on the 4-day, for example, here, one argument for this not having to go fully down is this current divergence, because here you had this low and here you had this lower low, and at the same time you had these being one low here and the other one is higher. So this is a form of bullish divergence on blue and gray. And then when you zoom in now, first thing you need to do is mark this top. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to start from this top here, and we want to try and zoom in on this wave down. And first we're gonna check also on the 3-day if this was visible or not. Here you had this clear tap up and fake up, and on the 2-day also it was visible. So when you zoom in now, you're gonna zoom in somewhere between the 4-hour and the 8-hour, because also these are the 10th, each one of those is a 10th roughly of the 2-day, the 3-day, and the 6-day time frame. So when you go, for example, to the 4-hour and you start there, what you can see is that this here now is tapping up. Let me just show you something. This here is tapping up, and a possible entry would be if this taps down. Okay, why? Because it would mean that there is a potential for this to tap up again, and this would be an entry if we are going to play the scenario that on the 2-day we are now at the bottom and we want to go up. Okay, so if you want to see this as a reason for longing, then you should go to the 4-hour and wait for the next tap down. And instead of waiting, of course, what we would do is we would set an alert and just type crossing 15. 15 is somewhere at oversold here, and then I'm just gonna write to myself BTC for our 2-day 1 month long. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same at the 6 hour, and there it's almost the same. Also, the next tap up should be an alert, sorry, a tap down, and I already have an alert here. So, and then the next one is the 8 hour, and also for this one I would be looking for a tap down, regardless if it's a lower low or not. I mean a tap down on the MTF. So I would do the same, and I would set an alert here for when it crosses 15, and then I'm gonna type BTC 8 hour, 4 day, 1 month long. So for me here personally, I am now convinced that we need probably like at some point to retrace in the coming couple of candles of the 8 hour time frame, or 6 hour or 4 hour. This means like in the coming day or 2 or 3, we need a retrace for this to tap down, and this is when I'm going to be then probably zooming in again on much lower time frames to identify an entry. And if I know that this is gonna go down on these time frames, it doesn't mean that I would be looking for a short here. This is currently for me like a wait and watch time, not like a trade time for Bitcoin. And that's pretty much it. So just to sum it up, I believe on the monthly chart that we have to go up at some point. Otherwise this is going to get invalidated, and then it will move up to a larger time frame, and it's gonna take much more time. And if I'm going with the narrative that this on the monthly is very bullish, then I'm gonna go to the 3 day and 4 day and 6 day. Sorry, 2 day, 3 day, and 4 day, where this is now in the process of tapping down and then going back to the lower time frames. This means that I'm waiting for the next sub wave down, where this is gonna tap down on the MTF, and this could give us a very nice long entry, depending also on the zoom in that's gonna present itself for a fourth time frame here. And that's what I'm watching for. Okay, I hope this was good for you to get an understanding of how to interpret Bitcoin with the help of the MTF wave indicator. And guys, just a reminder, if you like the content and find it useful, please follow. And if you want to try the MTF wave indicator, just make sure to join our Discord and send me a DM there, or send me a DM here for access. Okay, thank you, have a great day.